Round one of the NFL draft just ended, and the 49ers did not trade Trey Lance or Brandon Aiyuk. And that means that Brandon Aiyuk most certainly is staying on the 49ers for at least another year. If the Niners were going to trade him, they were going to trade him tonight for a first-round pick. They didn't. There was a late run on wide receivers. Clearly, the Niners feel that Brandon Aiyuk is better than every wide receiver in this draft, and maybe they're right. The Trey Lance trade watch continues, though, because Tennessee did not draft a quarterback. The Raiders did not draft a quarterback. Those are a couple of AFC teams that either could trade for Trey Lance or draft Will Levis or Hendon Hooker. Both of those guys didn't get drafted in round one. I'm thinking the Raiders won't trade for Trey Lance. I'm thinking if they trade for anyone, it'll be Mac Jones because of the Josh McDaniels connection. So that leaves Tennessee. And I think they're not going to trade for him. I don't think the Niners will take anything less than a second. And I don't think Tennessee's going to offer their second. Maybe they'll offer their third, but that's going to be something to watch for tomorrow. The Trey Lance watch, the Trey Lance trade watch. But as far as what happened tonight, let's talk about how that impacts the Niners. There are three teams in the NFC that are nipping at their heels. Well, two, Detroit and Seattle. And then you got Philly, who the Niners are nipping at their heels. All three of those teams had 3 first-round picks. Let's talk about how they did. First, Seattle, the NFC West rival. They took Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver from Ohio State. I love these picks. First, the cornerback. I mean, they're taking him so they can cover both Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk. Now, the Seahawks' putrid defense matches up with the 49ers wide receivers. And on the other side of the ball, the Seahawks now have 3 really good, really talented wide receivers in Smith-Njigba, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf. Can the Niners match up with those 3? We know Charvarius Ward had a tough time with DK Metcalf in the playoffs. We'll see. I think the Niners now, they need to really add some corners and an edge rusher. Then you got Detroit. They had 2 first-round picks. They wasted the first one on a running back. They had picked 12 and 18. They could have taken the running back probably at 18 or maybe in round 2, Jahmyr Gibbs. Instead, they took him at 12. Good player, but a reach. Then the next pick they took, Jack Campbell, linebacker. Thank you very much, Detroit, for wasting your picks. A linebacker and a running back in round 1 in 2023. They had a golden opportunity to close the gap between themselves and the better teams in the NFC and wasted it. Good job, Detroit. Keep being you. Keep being Detroit. Then you had Philly. Philly had a very interesting draft. They took 2 guys that a lot of people projected would go in the top 10, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Jalen Carter was supposed to be the best prospect in the draft. He didn't test at the combine. Nolan Smith did test at the combine, ran a 4.39. People compared him to Hassan Reddick. Well, the team that has Hassan Reddick drafted the next Hassan Reddick, and now you got a really devastating defensive line. It's going to be interesting. You know, if the Niners hadn't traded for Trey Lance, they would have had the 29th pick in the draft. They could have drafted Nolan Smith and had their own Hassan Reddick, but they traded for Trey Lance. And for now, he's still on the team, which is a good thing because they're not going to get good value for him coming off this injury before people see him play. So, major takeaways from this night is that the Eagles continue to operate like an excellent organization. The Seahawks are coming for the 49ers. They had a real good round 1, and the Detroit Lions freaking flopped. Anyway, tomorrow, let's see what the 49ers do. They got 3 of the last 4 picks in round 3. Let's see what they do with them, and let's see if Trey Lance is on the team when tomorrow night is done.